If I traded it all.
Welcome to the show, everyone. I am going to go right in with networking right away. My first guest, I have to just talk for a little bit. He has been on my show. It's about 5 years ago at least now, but you've come back because it's my 10-year anniversary. I called you up and you were like, yes, I got to come back. I have with me Jerry Sentner, and he is the owner of Red Hawk Property Management. Welcome back to the show. It's great to see you.
Thank you, Carol, and I wanted to congratulate you on 10 years.
I can't believe it either.
That's amazing. And you look 22, so I'm not sure what's going
Thanks,
on.
Jerry. You can come back anytime now. So tell us a little bit about, you've had some changes since the last time you've been on. So let's talk a little bit about you and what you do and your changes that have been going on with your company.
Well, the first thing that we did is we were a kind of a combination real estate and property management company. We wanted to focus on property management, but we found it was a little hard to focus on both, serve two masters. So about 3 or 4 years ago, we ended up changing the name to Red Hawk Property Management. We found a need in the valley for somebody that represented the landlord. We have a fiduciary responsibility to the landlord. We have a responsibility to always be honest with the tenants. We want to make sure that we're, taking care of them as well, but we do represent the landlords. So probably 98% of our business now is focused on landlord-related property management, primarily of single-family properties.
Now, your website, everything is sort of new right now, right? You have Rent RHR, which stands for
Red Hawk. Well, it actually is Red Hawk Realty, but it's
It's
rent.
same thing.
You bet. It's
Okay.
rentrhr.com.
Perfect. Now, when last time that you were on, one of the things that we sort of talked about, and I want to know a little bit about you and what makes you different too, because there's a lot of property management companies out there, but you also talk a little bit about something that's a little different that people don't realize. So let's go ahead.
Well, there's a couple things. One is I'm a little bit crazy for property management. I have a passion for it, and I really feel blessed because I really feel like I don't work a day in my life, because when you love what you do and you have a passion. I've got an incredible staff that works with me, and even though we've changed the name, we've changed a little bit of our focus over the last 4 or 5 years. It's basically the same group, and we're still located in the valley, so nothing's changed from that perspective.
Why did you change?
Well, again, we wanted to focus on the property management side of things. One thing I found is, again, you can't serve two masters. What happens a lot of times in real estate is real estate agents they're incredible. They're incredible people. They love people, but they kind of go towards the money. There's a lot more money in traditional real estate. You sell an average home in the valley, and depending on a few factors, the agent's going to make $9,000, $10,000, $11,000, $12,000. Property management, we have a flat monthly rate while the property's occupied of $80 per month. We have a leasing fee, so there's a substantial difference. For us, we manage 400 to 500 single-family properties at a time. Very seldom is there a change for us, except when the owners are going to sell it. But and the rules are different. Even though you need an Arizona real estate license to sell either traditional real estate or be a property manager, the laws are different. I mean, in property management, you need to know about the Arizona Landlord-Tenant Act. You need to know what happens if somebody doesn't pay their rent. Do you treat them like a charity, or is it like a business? Can you enter the property without notice? Or, what really are the idiosyncrasies of management? And most realtors, again, incredible people, they focus on selling, buying traditional real estate. We don't do that.
And how long have you been doing this now?
Oh, boy. Started actually in 2004. I had been involved in real estate on a personal level prior to that, but I've been licensed since 2004.
A long time.
Yep.
Now, the website is rentrhr.com. Their phone number to call, it's 480-396-9766. Now, when you're working with someone, does it matter where, because, you're looking for people who obviously are looking to have a property management company manage their homes.
Correct. We're valley wide.
That's what I want to know.
We have homes from Buckeye to Apache Junction. We have homes from Anthem all the way down to Florence. We have some in Coolidge, Casa Grande. So we are valley wide. We will not take every property that's presented to us. I like to still like to look at every property myself. Even though I have a full staff, I want to make sure that we have a good meeting of the minds, because we want good long-term relationships. A landlord can cancel their contract with us for any reason, and there's no penalty. So we want to make sure it's a good fit. So we don't take every property. We are not slumlords. We really have gotten out of the multifamily business. It's mostly single family. We do take some condos. We do take some townhouses. We're very techie in our, for an old guy, I've got other people that do that, but we've got incredible technology because we have owners all over the world. From China, Australia, Canada, you name it.
Right.
So most of what we do is electronic. So it's funny, the tenants pay their rent online. They submit their work orders electronically. Owner distributions are all electronically. We Skype with owners around the world.
It's amazing.
It's just a whole different day.
Now, again, they're valley-wide. At the website, you can check them out. It's rentrhr.com, and the phone number to call them direct, it's 480-396-9766. You do a consultation with them, so you get to know them. It's got to be that. You've got to start to talk to them first.
That's correct. I think it's like any successful relationship. It's all based on the foundation. And we want to make sure we have a meeting of the minds. Like I said, we're not slumlords. We want to make sure that we're representing the right people for the right reasons. And again, we want good long-term relationships.
Again, that phone number to call them, it's 480-396-9766. It's rentrhr.com, and they're valley-wide. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the rental market right now. Is it hot or what?
It's hot.
It's hot.
Yes.
It's hot out there, guys. And it's hot in rental, too.
Yes, it certainly is. I did an interview just recently on one of the TV stations about it, and the rental rates have went up about 7% year over year. It's not uncommon for us we'll put a property on the market. It's not uncommon to have 8 or 10 applications for a property. And but what's a little different about us is we only process one application at a time. So if 10 people apply, they're paying an application fee, and if we were like some folks, we would keep that application fee for all 10 people. We don't do that. It's one at a time. So we'll process the first application. If they meet the criteria that's clearly posted on our website, then we'll go ahead and approve them. If they don't, we advise them and we move on to the second. But we want to be fair. We want to get great tenants. We want great landlords, but we want to be fair.
So you're really meticulous about who you're picking to rent these properties.
Absolutely. The first thing we do is we run a credit check. Each property has a different requirement. In general, we're looking for a minimum of 600 credit score, which really isn't that high. We typically don't take any felons. One of the national federal agencies has changed the requirements on felons. So if it was over 10 years ago and it wasn't a violent felony, maybe it was back then smoking pot or something minor, then we'll entertain that. But if it was a sex offender issue or armed robbery or
never mind.
That's exactly right.
Right. Well, again, it shows the way that you're coming in and talking about this, about how meticulous you are, how much you care about what you do. You're passionate about what you do.
We are. My whole staff is like that. We love people. We love what we do. You have to, because in property management, it's not like traditional real estate where everybody is all happy and smiling all the time. There's tough issues. People run into financial problems. There's in the last month we had a flood in one of our properties and we had a fire in one. So those are traumatic events. We need to respond. We need to protect the owner's interests. We want to make sure that the tenants are being taken care of. We make sure that all of the tenants have renter's insurance. And that way, if there is a catastrophic event, there's somebody that can help them as well. But yes, we really do love what we do. do.
Now, again, we're going to go to a break. We're going to go, and when we come back, we want to talk further a little bit about this. It's really important that you do have somebody who really loves what they do and obviously is meticulous about who they're going to have renting for your home, and that's what they do. And if you have a home out there, a single family, is that what it is?
You bet. We like single family, condominiums, townhouses. That's our specialty.
And he's been doing this for a long time, and he loves doing it. The number to call them, it's 480-396-9766. The website is rentrhr.com. They're valley-wide. We're going to go to a break. When we come back, we want to talk a little bit about some of these different property management companies that are out there. There are some that are sort of crooked that you kind of talked a little bit about before the last time you were on my show. So we're going to talk a little bit further about this. We're going to go to a break. When we come back, you can check them out. It's rentrhr.com. The phone number to call them, it's 480-396-9766.
Traded it all if I gave it.
So welcome back, everyone. We're talking with Jerry Sentner, and he's the owner of Red Hawk Property Management. Been on my show many times before, a few years ago, now back. And, we've been talking a little bit about you and how you've changed and more focused, even more so than ever, because you were doing this before, but even more so than ever, property management. And as the break, I was sort of talking to you, and I was asking you, well, what does it go, what happens to a property management owner? I mean, not the owner, the owner of a house. What do they have to go through with you to get to the point where you guys merge together and decide to work with one another?
That's a great question. Just like we don't take every property, we don't take every property owner. And it's not we're being snobby. It's just we want a good long-term working relationship. So we check the owner out. We want to make sure that, one, during our initial discussion, there's a lot of probing questions that we ask. We want to make sure that if the air conditioner goes out and it's 120 degrees in the house and you've got a family, small children, that the owner has the resources to fix or replace that air conditioner. And if not, there's liability all the way around. So we want to make sure that we've got good owners that, have the resources, one, also that have the right temperament. We have landlords by default. In other words, there's fewer and fewer of those, but people that really would prefer to sell their property, but maybe they're a little upside down, situation's not quite right. Maybe they were transferred to another city. They don't want to give their roots up in Phoenix, so they have one property. We want to make sure it's a good fit because it is different.
Right.
And then we also have people that have, 20, 30, 40 properties. And again, we want to make sure it's a good meeting of the minds that, we can do our job based on what their criteria is. And, communication is really, I think, the key. We want to make sure that we're effective communicators and that the owners are as well.
Okay, well, we've been talking also a little bit about rentals, and I even said I to you at the break how I thought that was sort of, more and more people weren't renting as much, but it's not the case, you said.
No, it's not the case, and a variety of reasons. One is Phoenix is always going to be an incredible rental market. I mean, people are moving into the valley. They want to put their toe into the sunshine. They want to see.
Check it out first.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Just don't come in July, okay?
Try before you buy.
Exactly. That's right, Carol. So you have people from all over the country that are coming to try out the area. The other thing is, I think after the crash, 2006, 2007, there's a lot of people that are scared to own. Some people are a little afraid because maybe they had a repossession, a short sale. They lost their home. They may not even realize that they can buy now. Mm-hmm. So a lot of them are renting. I mean, you would be surprised. We have all different economic levels.
Some people want to do it just to do it because they don't want to deal with what it takes to own a home.
Correct. No, that's right.
Right.
Yep. And we have rentals from $700-800 a month up into the $multi-thousand a month, and we have doctors, police. I mean, all different types of people.
Are the rates staying basically at that, or are they going up?
They're going up.
They're going up.
They're going up, and that's one of the problems with landlords that manage their properties themselves. As a professional property management company, we're checking those rates every 6 6 months. They're going up about 7% on average a year. So it's an incredible time. Typically right now, when we put a property on the market, it's rented within, 7 to 10 days to a qualified renter. And, we don't have to compromise. As the market changes, we get with the owners and you tweak the criteria. But it's hot. It's a really hot market right now.
Now, they are valley-wide. The website is rentrhr.com, and their phone number to call them, it's 480-396-9766. And give them a call, talk to them a little bit. If you've got property, if you've got 40 of them, I want to talk to you too. That's awesome, though. Do you have a lot of people that have that many? I mean, that's awesome. Or do you like to work with the people that have more or less, or does it matter?
It really doesn't matter. I mean, it's there's not a lot of people that have 30, 40 properties. There are a lot of REITs, large groups that have thousands of properties. Mm-hmm. That's really not our niche. I mean, we really like the smaller investor. Anywhere from 1 to 20 homes is
right.
Really, really good for us.
Again, that phone number, it's 480-396-9766. It's rentrhr.com. They're valley-wide. Now, also, before you were on, we talked about a little bit about, we called them crooked, but there's some property management companies that have been, shut down and stuff like that. Why did that happen?
Well, what happened, I think, is greed, plain and simple. And when you're a property manager, it's not uncommon for you to have, depending on the number of properties, to have $1 million, $2 million in your trust account. That is landlord's money or tenant's money, security deposits, and those type things. Well, what was happening is there was a large number of property management companies that were taking that trust account money. The market, after it started rebounding, they were taking that money, buying properties. It's kind of like the music chair thing. The music stopped and they couldn't flip them, so they got caught, some of them several $1 million short. I think last time I was on, the number for the previous year, maybe 2 years, was about $7 million that had been stolen from trust accounts. Now, the commissioner for the Arizona Department of Real Estate, Judy Lowe, has been incredible. They have really stepped up the enforcement, the audits of all real estate companies, but there has been a focus on property management companies because there's more, there's more exposure, there's more money sitting there, and but the numbers are not like they used to be. But I always say buyer beware or landlord beware, and that is that when you're looking for a property management company, first thing I would do is go to the Arizona Department of Real Estate site and look up the company that you're thinking about doing business with. Are they licensed? You'd be surprised how many property management companies or property management people are not licensed. In Arizona, you have to have an Arizona Department of Real Estate license to do property management. So that's the first thing. See if they've been audited. What were the audit results? And then you want to ask for a list of referrals and actually really reach out to them. I think it's good also to do your, Google search and, Yelp and Better Business Bureau and all of those. Some of those I think can be fabricated, but, Yelp, Better Business Bureau, a few of those, they verify the information. So do your due diligence. You just don't want to be giving money to a crook. And I don't think a lot of the people that got caught with their hands in the cookie jar were necessarily bad people to start with, but I think they just made bad choices. You just cannot steal, you can't take other people's money. It's not yours. There's a responsibility. So make sure you have a good feeling for the property management company that you choose.
Well, let's talk about you then, because, why should someone pick someone like you?
Well, I was going to kid with you, but I won't. Actually, if you check our reviews, first of all, you go to Yelp, you go to Better Business Bureau, you go to Google, we average about a 4.2 star rating. So we're not perfect. The first thing that we try to do is respond to every review. And sometimes, there's legitimate issues that give us less than our desired rating. I get right on that. Let's follow up, see what we can learn, because, again, we're not perfect. We've got a great staff. We have a permanent location. We've been in the same location about 7 years. We passed our...
Can you tell me we're never audited or whatever it was?
No, we have been audited, yes.
Sorry,
We've been audited, but there was no deficiencies.
That's what it was.
Yeah, there was.
I didn't remember what you said, but we were talking... That was 5 years ago. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, we like I said, we're right out there in the public, and just like doing shows like this and other things. We just step right up. We're a very, very honorable company, and we only want to get better.
Now, again, you could check them out on their website. It's rentrhr.com. You can call them. Obviously, they're going to do a consultation with you to find out if you guys are a good fit, whether you're looking for a property management company or if you have a house that you want to rent. Again, you have to talk to them. They're very meticulous about who they work with. Again, that number to call them, it's 480-396-9766. It's rentrhr.com. What are your final words?
Final words are, one thing about us is we don't ask for any money up front. Everything is fully disclosed. There's no hidden fees. Our motto is highly recommended with no surprises, and that's what we try to live by.
Again, that phone number to call them, it is 480-396-9766. They're valley-wide. Check them out on their website. You can check them out on Yelp, Better Business Bureau. You can check them out anywhere you want. That number, again, is 480-396-9766. It's rentrhr.com.